Hi, Julie Rader here with the astrological update for the Libra full moon. As always, if you like the video, please like, subscribe, and share to help me grow the channel. So this is happening on April 5th at 9:34 p.m. Pacific time at 16 degrees of Libra. So every full moon is when the moon and the sun are opposite in the sky. We have the moon at 16 degrees of Libra, while the sun is at 16 degrees of Aries. This is happening. This full moon is right smack in the middle of the two Aries back to back new moons that we have. So, this full moon is really, there's this energy with this full moon of all systems go, full speed ahead. It happens right before Mercury hits its shadow period, which will be happening around the 6th or 7th. I need to look at the exact time, but it's right before then is when we have this full moon. It is also at this time, all planets are moving direct in their forward motion. We also have this in between two Aries new moons. Aries, first sign of the zodiac. Aries, first out of the gate, all about initiation, all about let's do this now. Very much an energy of this Libra full moon. Now it's interesting because this Libra full moon is opposing Chiron. Chiron is considered to be the considered to be the wounded healer in astrology. We all have Chiron somewhere in our charts. It in our personal charts, it can show sometimes the wounded archetype or how we react when we are feeling wounded. Chiron recently was just last week conjunct merging with Jupiter, expanding that how do we react when wounded, expanding maybe the wounds that or the past trauma that it's important that we take the time to process and deal with and move beyond. So this full moon is definitely shedding a light on some of these wounds that it's important we move beyond. We are in a time like no other. We just March 7th had Saturn move signs into the sign of Pisces, where it will remain there for a couple of years. And we just had Pluto move into Aquarius, where it's just tiptoeing, it's just getting its toes wet in Aquarius, and then it will retrograde back into Capricorn. And then in January, it will fully be in Pluto. However, right away with this Pluto moving into Aquarius. I know we've seen things collectively, several things that I've seen in my personal lives or in my personal life or the lives of those around me, which are just sudden change, instantaneous change. That's the energy right now. Pluto just changed signs, Saturn changed signs. All these planets are direct. Things are moving at such a rapid speed. How do we deal with it? It's important that we slow down. We take the time to intentionally not overschedule when we have a full moon. We intentionally go back to the drawing board. What is it that we want to move forward? Because with everything moving so fast, things are just, they can spiral very quickly. So we step back, we ask ourselves, where do I want to focus this energy? This energy is moving rapidly, but is it going in a direction that I want? It is going to continue to gain momentum. So take a step back, ask where you want this flow to go. So this full moon may shed a light on some past wounds, especially if you've not taken the time to process or deal with past trauma. One thing I really suggest doing, especially when we're in between these two new moons, and from this full moon until the next new moon in Aries, which is actually an eclipse, shed, let go. The bigger, the better. If you can go and tackle an entire garage, do it. Pluto just changed signs. If we can show the planets that we are willing to work with them, that we are willing to release and let go of the things that are just taking up space, our mental space, our emotional space, our physical space, then when the eclipse energy comes, and it is coming in 2 weeks from this full moon, we will already be working with the energy of letting go and releasing. That way, we're not shocked by eclipse season, things being taken away from us. So, tackle the garage if you can. Otherwise, baby steps. Go with a closet, at least a drawer. Start clearing out. Ask yourself, what do I no longer need in my life? What is just taking up space? What is, you can Marie Kondo it, what is no longer sparking joy in my life? If there's something that you haven't used, that you're not going to use, get rid of it. Clear space for what is important and essential. Clear space so that you can allow your mind to expand and see the bigger possibilities. When we are inundated with too much stuff or too much clutter, or our inbox is full, or our calendar is too cluttered, or we're simply distracting ourselves so that we don't acknowledge the pain or the grief that is underlying it all, then when this eclipse season comes and as Pluto continues to move through Aquarius before it retrogrades back, as Saturn moves through Pisces, we will have a light that is shown on these dark spaces where we have not been wanting to look at. Start working with this energy now. I've been talking about this for months. The importance of clearing, decluttering, letting go. The time is now. Things are full speed ahead. What do you have space for in your life? If there's not space, where can you clear the space? Okay, some things that are happening alongside this full moon. On the day of the full moon, we have Mercury and Taurus making a sextile, beautiful, harmonious aspect to Saturn and Pisces. When Mercury and Saturn are working in harmony together, this is a wonderful time to edit, to analyze. Libra full moon, this is an air element. So this full moon is air. It's very cerebral, but it also is opposing where the sun is in fire. And then we have Mercury in Taurus bringing in the earth, and Saturn in Pisces bringing in the water. This is a very, if we can work with this moon, sun, Mercury, Pisces representing all of the elements, we can really bring to life in a spoken, a written um, work of art, or really just something that we've been wanting to get out into the world, or um, publish, launch. Great time for this, right before Mercury goes retrograde, right before it enters the shadow. This Libra full moon can work wonders for that. Seeing this, I hadn't really put that all together. Sometimes things kind of come through it, they download as I'm speaking. I'm going to be launching, and actually, now that I see this, I'm going to do an electional chart. But right around this time, a project I'm working on called Moon to Mat. I actually shot it in 2020 and will release it out into the world soon. And it's simply combining the ancient arts of yoga and astrology for yoga practices or yoga teachers. More to come on that. So we also, leading up to this full moon, just 2 days before, on the 3rd, we have Mercury. So Mercury, even though Mercury is it's not, it doesn't have any aspects to the sun or moon, it is making its own aspects leading up to it. And on the day of, that one is on the day of that, having all four elements represented in that beautiful, harmonious way, make use of that energy. So continue to clear and declutter so that you can actually focus your energy on something that you really that you want to get out into the world. So on the 3rd, we have Mercury square Neptune. So this is 2 days before the full moon. So we have Mercury in Taurus square Neptune in Pisces. When this happens, we have, oh no, sorry, this is going to be when that Mercury square, not Neptune, square Pluto. When this Mercury in Taurus squares Pluto, it is asking us to really to let go of the words that to let go of the trauma, like we've been talking about, bringing in that Chiron energy, but death and rebirth. So, what do you need to let go of? Maybe there's a project you've been holding on to that's just creating space. And maybe it's time that you let that go so that you can focus your energy at this full moon on what it is that you want to put out into the world. That's happening at 0 degrees. 0 degrees. This is right after Mercury enters into Taurus. It enters into Taurus and right away it squares Pluto. Pluto says, okay, you have something you want to put out there, writing, speaking, teaching. Maybe it's studying something new. Maybe it's a trip you want to take. And what can you release? What do you need to dissolve so that you can focus your energy on pushing forward with this new project, this new path that you're on? Then 2 days after the full moon, on the 7th, we have Mercury again in Taurus, making a beautiful harmonious sextile to Mars. Now, at this time, Mercury is in its shadow period. What this means, it's the shadow period is before Mercury goes retrograde, which it will go retrograde. I'm just looking at my astrological calendar here on April 21st. So just 2 days after the solar eclipse. When Mercury goes retrograde, it will go retrograde at 15 degrees of Taurus. So what is going to happen is it's going to travel then all the way back until 5-ish degrees of, so it will at almost 6 degrees. 5 degrees 51 minutes. So what this means, up until this, Mercury is going forward. Then once it reaches around on, I believe it's on the 6th of April, once it hits that period of time where it's going to go back over, this is where Mercury is going to go forward over it, and then it's going to backtrack over it. So it's going to hit those degrees twice. That's what the retrograde is. It goes forward until about 15-ish degrees, and then it will go back to about 5 degrees. All you need to know that when Mercury is sextile Mars, that is a time where you're moving forward and you will have a chance to revisit that again. So, having said that, it is full steam ahead. This full moon is really, really wanting you to, the things that have started taking a snowball effect and started to take off, the things that are in the flow. When the things are flowing easily, you know that's the direction to go. When you're hitting obstacle after obstacle, or you're really doubting it, not doubting from a place of fear, but doubting from, I don't know if this is the right step, then perhaps if it's not sparking joy, if you cannot see a future in that, let it go. Let the energy flow and let the rest go. So, another aspect that we have on the 7th, we have Venus, who is the ruler of this full moon. She represents beauty and money and really anything you're attracted to, making this beautiful sextile to Neptune. So, right after this full moon, and this energy is part of it. It's only a couple of days away. And when these inner planets, especially, connect to the ones that are further away, the planets that are further, we feel them for longer periods of time. This is really artistic and beauty and dreaming. There is so much about this full moon that is saying, dream big, go for it, make it happen, put roots to the intentions, the dreams that you have. The time is now. It is time to go. It is time to release. And the more you release, it is like taking off your backpack and emptying the things out. You're going on this journey, you're climbing up a mountain. If you have too much weighing you down, it's going to take you so much longer to get there. And you're going to have to see the chiropractor, and your back is going to be hurting so badly. Take out the backpack, release the things that are non essential, keep the things that are going to help propel you forward on your journey. You know where you're going at this point. What doesn't need to go with you? This is very much, there's going to be a huge light that is shown on that during this full moon. Continue to do the releasing. If you haven't yet, use all this energy of planets moving forward to revitalize you, and just do it. Let go, let go, let go, let go. Get down to what you need. Stay clear on your vision. Let go of the things, the relationships, the grief, the emotions that aren't worthy of coming with you. You know where you want to go. There's only so much space in the backpack. Keep what is necessary, let go of the rest. Okay, now let's look and see where this full moon will affect you in your chart. Aries, this is happening for you in your 7th house. It is shining a light on your relationships, all one-on-one relationships. Also, 7th house can also represent others, like the public. So looking at, if you are launching something, this full moon can really propel you out into the public eye. When you're looking at one-on-one relationships, because remember, Libra is about relationships, it will shine a light on what is working, what is not working. What you just had this in your house, Chiron, when I was talking about the wounded healer and Jupiter merging in your house of you, yourself, that is opposing your relationships. You're asking yourselves, what do you need to release? Do you need to release these ideals of what relationship is? Or do you need to release the relationships that are holding you back? Only you know this, Aries, but this full moon will shine a huge light on it. Taurus, this is happening for you in your 6th house. This full moon is shining a light on your health and your day-to-day routines. Look at what is working on a day-to-day basis. What health routines or things that you're putting into your body food-wise. Have you gotten into some bad habits? This full moon will shine a light on it and will inspire you to take the path. Let go of the things that aren't serving you. Maybe it's sugar, maybe it's caffeine, maybe it's something else that you've gotten into the routine, the habit of just feeling like you need that. This full moon will have you reassessing. Gemini, this is happening for you in your 5th house. This full moon is shining a light on your children, or maybe your inner child, or perhaps a creative project, entrepreneurial project that you are ready to put out into the world, something creative, something innovative. If it's dealing with your children, then maybe you're looking at, okay, what in my children's lives do I need to release? What do I need to release from from my own schedule so that I can spend more time with my children. Maybe I'm tuning into my inner child, and my inner child is saying, I have no time for play. I need to release these things that are just weighing me down. Virgo, you're going to be feeling this full moon a lot because your ruler is Mercury, and Mercury's making lots and lots of aspects at this full moon. Make some time for play and tap into that creative genius that you are, where you can be articulate. Put pen to paper at this full moon or paint a canvas, whatever makes sense for you. Cancer, this is happening in your fourth house. This is the house that you really relate to. It is home and family. You may feel like being at home at this full moon, and I highly suggest doing that. You may find that it is time to heal a relationship. Maybe it's been coming to the surface, especially with that Chiron and Jupiter coming together. Maybe there's a family relationship that needs attention, and it's time for you to heal that. Maybe it's shining a light on your physical home, and you're becoming inspired to change something in your home, to create some art for your home. Or maybe you're even feeling like it's time to move. Leo, this is happening for you in your third house. Leo, what creative project are you working on, or have you been sitting on that you're like, I don't know, maybe it's not ready yet? Use this Mercury energy to edit it, to get it ready, and then get it out into the world. You are meant to shine this project that you're working on out there. If you're not working on a project, then simply take a road trip. This will feed your soul. Do something where you can drive somewhere and just have fun. Get a road trip on the books, and then clear just anything that's been weighing heavily on your mind. Virgo, this is happening for you in your sixth house. You very much are being asked to go through and do the decluttering and letting go of the possessions in your life that you're not using, that you don't need, that are just taking up space. Clear out the clutter from your garage, your closets, the possessions that really are just taking up space. Sell them if you want. This is a great aspect, a great full moon for you to look through and say, maybe I'm going to open a Poshmark account or eBay and just sell some things and make some money off of it. Libra, this is happening. This is your full moon. This is your full moon happening right smack in the middle of Libra. So, right at 16 degrees. This is happening when I talk about these houses. This is just the area of life that it's affecting. So, this is all about you. This is about you getting out into the world. If there is something, a creative project that you are wanting to work on, that you are wanting to put out into the world, this is your time to do it. This is where it will gain traction. It is time for you you are articulate, you are creative, you are musical. What is it that you've been working on? Where can you rebrand yourself and be seen by the world? Scorpio, this is happening for you in your 12th house. You may feel like going inward. I highly suggest for you, Scorpio, for you to do that. For you to go into that cave that you love going into and hibernate, to really just allow yourself to take a personal retreat. Scorpio, write down your dreams, because you are getting a lot of guidance in your dreams, and it's important that you listen to that guidance. You are highly intuitive. Let it guide you. Sagittarius, this is happening for you in your 11th house. You are being asked to look at your intentions, the goals that you have. It's be a great time for you, Sagittarius, to create a vision board from now, anywhere during this season. But this full moon is great, and right in between these Aries new moons. The 11th house is our house of aspirations. It's our house of tribes of people. It's anything dealing with the internet. So if you have a project that you've been sitting on, get it out into the world. The time is now. So, Sagittarius, 11th house, you may be looking at what old dreams or old visions that you had, intentions for your life that really just no longer serve where you want to go. Let them go to clear space so that you can put your focused energy on what it is you want. Capricorn, this is happening for you in your 10th house. 10th house is career. Are you in a career that is fulfilling you? If not, start asking yourself, what can I do that will feel more meaningful, more purposeful in my life? You want to do something that makes a difference in this world. This full moon is saying, okay, what in my career is not fulfilling me? And then be brave enough to let it go. Aquarius, this is happening for you in your 9th house. Again, these houses are just the area of life. It's the astrological term that says, I could say, Aquarius, this is happening in the area of life that really represents international travel. You may be feeling this urge to book an international trip. Do it. It is time for you to get out there into the world again. 9th house is also higher learning. It is also just spirituality or philosophical endeavors as well. Aquarius, allow yourself to go into that spiritual realm, that other dimension. That's what this full moon is asking you to do. And if you're inspired to book a trip internationally, do it. Pisces, last but certainly not least, fellow Pisces, this is happening for us in our 8th house. We must go inward and look psychologically at what it is, what old beliefs are holding us back, what old beliefs of whatever it is. Our beliefs of abundance. Do we believe there are only 24 hours in the day? Pisces, we can live in this boundless time. We must go through and release the limiting beliefs that are no longer serving us. Shining a light is also, 8th house is also other people's money, mysticism, looking at all of these areas and shining a light. I suggest for you, Pisces, to go inward as well, like Scorpio. Spend some time going inward. Maybe do your own little tarot reading, or just simply ask yourself intuitively, what do I need to let go of psychologically and emotionally so that I can move forward? Thank you so much for watching, for listening. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next video.